I invested nearly $7,000 in one single company, but what company was it? What is the warning that you should absolutely know about? And what is the extra way that I plan to make income from this stock? Let's go ahead and break it down. All right. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but I'm still slightly under the weather. Sinus infections are no fun. I sound weird. My throat hurts. Everything's all bad. Okay. But I am here for you. And I want to show you what I'm going to do with this stock because I like to be transparent in life, but definitely here on this channel. Last week I showed you how I made $4,000 on PACCAR. And if you go back and watch the videos, you'll see when I bought PACCAR, I think it was back in May of 2023, and then when I ended up selling it, and I showed you all the receipts in between. Well, here's your opportunity to see this journey from beginning to end, this being the beginning. The company is NRG. Right now it's trading for around $71 per share. I like the company because, one, it is in the energy sector. We've talked about how energy stocks tend to do well right around this time, especially in the winter time as well. The stock is up 91% in the last 6 months and up 108% over the last year. It's very difficult to find a non-tech company that is doing that well in this era where the entire stock market is up, which is good. But the other thing that I love about this company is it's under $100. Why is that so important? Because the additional way that I plan to make income from this stock is by using covered calls. So I'm going to explain what that is too, and then how I'm going to do it. And I'm also going to give you I wouldn't call it a secret technique, but something beginning investors should do before they do their first covered call option. All right, so again, we've talked about NRG. I don't think I need to go into too much detail because it's an energy company. That's what they do. It's not sophisticated enough in a way that we need to break down all its sections and factors and all that kind of stuff. But the main thing is, again, the stock is doing well, but how are you going to make money from it? Well, number one, anytime I try to do a covered call strategy, is it starts off with buying a good quality company, okay? Whether I have 100 shares or just one share or even a half a share, I want to buy good quality stocks. I don't want no trash in my portfolio. If I know it's trash, I'm not going to invest in it. I'm not going to invest in something that I hope does well in the future. I want to buy something that is doing well and looks like it's going to continue on a trajectory. I buy the winners and cut the losers, okay? That's just how I roll. Take it how you want. Okay, so NRG happens to have done well. It looks like it's going to continue to do well. So I'm going to hop on that bandwagon and ride it for a few more months, and then we'll cash out when the time is appropriate. Now, we've got that. What is the second part of this? This is the covered call portion. So when you do a covered call, you have to buy a minimum of 100 shares. Now, if you have more than that, then you can do 100, 200, 300, however many shares that you are most comfortable with. I will say this. Here's the one warning. Number one, anytime that you are putting money into a stock, I still follow that 5% rule. $7,000 on my entire portfolio. Okay, I would never advise anybody, myself included, to put all your chips into one single stock. Now, if it's an S&P 500 index fund, okay, maybe not that bad. But to put it in one stock, that's not something I would necessarily do. So it's still below my 5% rule. So I want to be very clear there. But also, it is easier to do this with a company, at least easier for me, unless you got millions, right? But it's easier to invest in a company that's less than $100 because instead of spending 10, 15, or 20,000, I can do this with just 7. Okay. Now you may be looking and say, hey, I don't even have $7,000. It's my very first investment. I'm in my 20s. I got something for you. Okay. Stay tuned. I got something for you because I'll tell you this. When I started investing, I didn't have that type of money either. I was fresh out of college. Could only invest $100 a month. Okay, there was no way I was going to be able to afford it until I found out something special. So I'm going to show you what that is too. All right, so as we're doing that, we got our covered, we got our good quality company, we got 100 shares, a minimum of 100, and now we're doing the covered call. Quick explainer on what a covered call is, and we did explain it in our last video, but basically I am giving the right to buy the stock from me at a specific price. What does that mean? So for example, if I bought a stock at $71, right, which is where it is right now, I'm giving you the right to buy from me at $81. There's a built-in profit there, right? So number one, I've sold that right to you, so you have to pay me, let's say, $100 for that. And then if the stock gets to that point, then I'm going to make the difference there. So $10 a share times 100 shares, which is great. Okay, so that is the best case scenario, or one of the best case scenarios. What if the stock goes from 71 to 80? It doesn't actually get to 81. what do you do in that case? Well, the advantage is the contract will expire at the end of the month or whatever date that you chose, and I could just sell the contract again. That is what we did with PACCAR, and every month or so, we sold a new contract, it expired, sold a new contract, and we kept doing it until the price actually hit and they bought it from us, which in our case, gave us a pretty good gain. So that is the objective. What I try to do is set it far enough where I can make a decent sum of money. You know, $150, $200, $300 works for me. I'm not going to sell a contract for $5. I don't think that's worth it. But doing that enough times where I can make a profit, and then if it is sold, it's going to sell for something where I can make a pretty significant gain. So that is my objective for doing it. But what are your options if you don't have $7,000 or $8,000 to do this? Number one, you can still buy a good quality stock. That's still gonna make you money. In this case, had you bought this company 6 months ago, you would have made 91%. Okay, whether it's a half share, 2.5 shares, or 50.75 shares, you still would have made 91%. That is not a guarantee moving forward that you're gonna make that exact same profit. But I would say we're gonna be somewhere close. Okay, I would prefer to be somewhere close. I think the stock is going to continue to do well, though that is not a guarantee. So you can still buy a good quality stock. But what if you still want to learn more about options but don't really have a place to do that? Well, this is where I want to introduce to you paper trading. There are a few programs that help you do this. Thinkorswim. It used to be from TD Ameritrade. I think it's from Schwab now, where it is free and you get to start off with $100,000. It's all simulated money, so it's not a real $100,000. But you get to buy a stock, you get to buy options, try covered calls, and test it all out for free without losing your actual money. You can start to get good there and understand how it works before you do it with your actual money. This is something I used to do with my students all the time before they started to make their very first investment. So it is something that I would recommend if you want to learn more and have more hands-on experience, but also B, you don't have enough money yet, but you do want to be ready when that time comes. So definitely make sure that you're doing that. And obviously, again, it all starts with having a good quality company. If you want to know what other good quality companies are and what stocks make sense to buy right now, you want to check out this video right here.